Okay, wait a minute. How do I get this? Oh, there. Start. I got it. Oh, that. Start video, and
Double cut it.
then there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so here we are. Let me turn on some more lights. Okay. So I think Pat is going to make it with um, tofu, which we handle the same way as we do the chicken. So I have a piece of chicken which I'm going to cut, take my knife and cut across where the bone on the both sides of the bone, and then cut each piece into about an inch cube. So you can cut your tofu again into about 1 inch cube or so. Now there's just a few pieces here, chicken. We don't eat a lot of meat. And for this bone, I'm just going to chop through the middle. And now I'm going to put all this in a bowl. And you can do the same with your tofu. Put it in a bowl. Put about a half teaspoon of salt. You do that with the a half teaspoon of salt and about a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch, or this one is actually potato starch. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of starch and mix it all together. It will form a kind of a crust with the salt drawing out the liquid and the cornstarch coating the pieces. And let it sit for a minute. Meanwhile, I can, start cutting up my vegetables. I have here some um, Chambera squash, which I used half of it already. So I'm going to just take out the dried out part and the end. And this is just because it was sitting on the ground. It got a little bit of discoloration, which is fine. I'm going to cut that into about an inch pieces. This dish has a lot of vegetable in it, much more vegetable than the meat. Well, this has been sitting for a while. I'm going to start cooking the meat. And if you do it with tofu, you want to use a smaller pot, maybe a small pan, and keep about half an inch of oil and heat it up until it's hot. And then you put the tofu in one piece at a time so that it's half submerged, and you cook it until it's browned on one side and then flip it over. But for the meat, I just need to add a little um, olive oil, just about a teaspoon or so, just barely enough to coat the bottom. Spread it out and warm it up. Using a prong to put my chicken in, one piece at a time. It's already soaking so hot. Basically, I'm browning the chicken. Save that cornstarch. I might need it to thicken the liquid at the end. So I continue to cut my vegetable. There's other additional squash that I have picked from the garden. These are little yellow squash. I picked them because even though they're small, because I'm letting all the squash go now because it's getting cold and they're not going to grow very much more. So I'm just going to let the plants die off while I use whatever squash is on the vine. These are all the squashes. And there's some daikon, which I have peeled. Again, these are from the garden. And some carrots. Yeah, so the carrots are so tender, I don't have to actually peel it. It's just, take the tip off and cut them into chunks. Make sure there's no little soil in the tip there. Up soil or something from the garden. Okay, so I'm going to turn the chicken now that it's brown on one side, turn it to the other side. And continue to cut this is tomatoes. The small tomatoes, I'm just going to cut it in half so that the liquid will come out of the tomato when I cook them. The bigger tomatoes, I'll cut in maybe 4 or so, 4 to 6. All right, the meat is almost brown on both sides. I'm going to take them out and put in a different bowl. Meanwhile, turn down the heat. So because I'm using a chicken with skin, the skin release some of the oil into the pot, so I don't have to add very much oil to the next part of it. But if you're using skinless chicken and you need more oil, you can add some more olive oil. I'm going to start with stir fry, adding some about two to three, this is 1 tablespoon. So it depends on how hot you wanted it. 1 teaspoon for mild, 2 teaspoons for medium, and 3 teaspoons for hot. So the curry powder goes in it. You can see it going into, starting to be aromatic right now. Just very quickly without burning. And then we're going to add all these vegetables a bit at a time. The tomatoes, that will release some of the liquid so it won't get too dry. And the squashes and all the stuff that I have cut up. Coat it all with the curry powder. Here's an eggplant. I won't be using all of it because it's quite a big eggplant. I'm going to cut this half of it. Save the other half. And here's some um, basil and curry leaf from my greenhouse. I'm just roughly chop them to add some more aroma to the dish. Every time I cook this dish, I use a different combination of vegetable, and so they all taste very different each time. It's it's really good that way. Let me get another. Here's a bean. I'm going to just take the tip of the bean. These are a mixture of scarlet runner bean, regular green bean, and something called Teva bush bean. And I pick them really when they are young, so they are not too tough. This is a scarlet runner bean that's gone a little bit bigger than I would like, but it's still good, quite good. All of them. Finally, the yogurt. This is a Greek yogurt, plain yogurt. So if you look on the bottom here, there's some liquid, but not a lot. Mostly the liquid is from the tomatoes. So I'm going to add some liquid to it, just simply water. Rinse out the yogurt cup, about a cup or so of the liquid. So basically, this is just a curry flavored um, stew of most of the vegetable paste. And finally, put the chicken back on top. And then cover it and let it simmer for about 5 minutes at medium heat. Now I'm going to pause the recording and then talk to you and then come back and check it in 5 minutes. Going to set a timer for 5 minutes. There we go. I'll go back and pause the recording. Okay. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's quite tender. The carrots is a bit hard, but the other things are quite tender. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. Oh, I want to taste it first to see if it needs any salt. See, there's quite a bit of liquid at the bottom. Yeah, I put a little bit of salt. Actually, better to put chicken bouillon cube instead of salt. It's more tasty. All right, I'm going to turn it up a little bit higher. Give it maybe 3 minutes. All right, I'll pause it again. Come back. And taste it again. Okay, I think this is all done. You can see there's a lot of liquid. So what I'm going to do is remember the cornstarch that I have aside. This is going to be made into a slurry with water. Here you go. Here's the cornstarch. And that would thicken the sauce quite a bit. There's a sauce coming up. All right, this is ready to serve. So, do the turn that on. It's a lot of vegetables. Okay, I'm going to close this up and turn off the recording.